But my sister, and shout out to my sister. I would give her an Instagram now, but I forget. Bottom line is, I love her so much. She's my biggest fan. She really is. But shout out to her. So she's just amazing. But I remember when I was like 5, 6, she was beating up. I say beating up, but standing up for me in the playground because I was covered in bandages. So when I used to go to school, kids used to call me mummy. They used to call me also. I used to get teased a hell load. I didn't even want to swear, but I used to get teased a lot. But yeah, I must be on 5, 6.
I don't think anybody should go through the experiences that I did, and it was things like, particularly boys, like talking about like the way my skin looked, like describing it similar to being an alligator or crocodile or those sort of things. Oh, wow. And during the time when I went to school, dark skinned girls weren't in.
Trust me, I can I'm not the girl version,
but
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 yeah, go ahead.
It would have been about school age when you start to see, oh, this has affected me. I'm not sleeping at night. I've got white shirts on and you itch, and then all of a sudden you have blood specks and everyone's looking. Yeah. And I'm asking not to go do PE because we've got to wear shorts.
I got more bullied from aunties and uncles and family members.
Oh, damn.
So it was the opposite. So it was that whole sort of Indian family thing where I would go to community event, whatever, like, and all the aunties and uncles steroid, you like fix him. Get this steroid, get this thing, get this from this country, get this from this country, put this potion on, like, go to India, go under that rock and you'll be fine. It's stuff that I swear to God.
Like we talked about family, my mum's biracial, so all of the black side of my family, it was her fault. She's done something. Even though other cousins on my dad's side have eczema, it's my mum's fault. And my mum just felt sorry for me.
Even till now, as an adult, my mum sees me sometimes at home when I'm scratching and stuff. She takes it, she blames herself. Like, maybe this happened when, because she was sick during my birth a lot. So she always goes back to, was it because of me? Because I was sick.
I thought because I had been raised a certain way, going back to NHS, to believe the professionals that we said we give them this title. My son was getting given TSW by us, going back to why do we do it? I now question why did I do it? Because I know what it's done for me in terms of the good visually, but the bad.
Like, even though you might have said that you could tell that you needed to come off the steroids, I'm going to be honest, I was addicted to steroids. That's why they also call it topical steroid addiction. Living your life addicted to drugs, because they are drugs, they're potent drugs. If you look at the potency of topical steroids, they are on the same category of actual drugs on the streets. But, because it's prescribed, they're not drugs, right? But that's a whole different story. But I think if you in the grand scheme of things, 5 years may sound like a long time, but if you decide to go down that path and actually take your healing into your own hands, you can figure out what your body is doing.
Yes, and we're back. My name is Tailz, and we're back with another episode. Today we've got a special show, one that I've been waiting for quite some time. Quite some time, but obviously we had to get the dates in order and aligned with everybody and everything like that. I know you was a big part of that, so I appreciate you for that. But this is called Straight Out the Box. This is a podcast for everybody and anybody. We talk about everything on this show, no stones unturned. But as you guys can see from the title, that today's actually a special one for me, because it's going to raise some awareness for me, because this is also something that's new to me, but also for the public and for those that actually don't know much about, what you guys are going through. And obviously we want to get into your journey. And so before we get into today's episode, I want to give a big shout out to AME Harrii. This is where we at today, do you know what I'm saying, in the podcast studio. But if you're interested in podcasting, or if you're interested in camera equipment to rent out, or if you need a space for your photo shoots or like your video productions, hit up AME on Instagram at AME Harrii, and the link to the website will be in the description box. So guys, please go check it out, go and support. And you know what I'm saying, they might have something there for you, you know what I mean, that can work for the kind of setup that you may need. Now, we're going to get into today's guests. I've got 4 of them. This is the first time I've actually had a big group like this, actually. Do you know what I'm saying? So, do you know what? You lot of, in a sense, pause. Pop the cherry in these wooden chairs, you know what I'm saying? So I said pause, people. I said pause. But I want to get the guys to each introduce themselves. and just let them know your name, what part of London, whether it's north, east, south, west, wherever, and also let them know your social media handles so that, you know, the guys out there can reach out to you just in case they have any questions, or they just might want to follow your journey and just know a little bit more about each and every one of you. So what I'll do, I will start from left to right. So brother, if you can let them know a bit about yourself.
Yeah, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. My name's Trini-stud on Instagram. And yeah, I'm part of the Eczemates collective, Northwest London, but I'm a Londoner, so all of London. And can't remember what else you asked for.
The social media handle. Just
that was it, Trini-stud. Yeah, TRINISTUD. I'm a Trinidadian, and I'll leave it there.
Thank you for coming, sis.
So I'm Harrii, also known as Harriet. I am Eczema with Harrii on Instagram and TikTok. All of my content is around eczema, skin conditions, topical steroid withdrawal, which we also call TSW. And yeah, we've come together as Eczemates to raise awareness for those that are living with skin conditions.
Mm-hmm. Oh, big that up. And also, what part of London are you from?
I'm from North London.
Oh, big up North London, big up North London. And brother?
Hi, I'm Dereece, at Dereece Julius on Instagram. I'm living in West London.
Big up West London.
And that's about it for me.
Do you have a social media?
Yeah, at Dereece Julius on Instagram. At Dereece Julius.
And is that, oh, sorry, just real quick, is that the same socials on everything, Snapchat and everything like that? Was it just Instagram?
Everything, yeah. For me, all the
everything.
same.
All the same? Okay, and welcome. And brother?
Yeah, hi. Yeah, I'm also part of the Eczemates team, and yeah, my name's Jitesh. Yeah, let's go start with that. Yeah, so my name's Jitesh. I'm from North London as well.
North London.
And my Instagram and TikTok both are the same as JITERZ, Jitters. And yeah, and here to also just raise awareness around men's health, men's skin health, for like a dark skin community, especially because there is a lot of lack of representation. So we hope to do some good awareness around that spot here today. Yeah.
All right, first and foremost, I would like to thank each and every one of you for actually taking the time out of your busy days. I know everybody's got their own lives, so I'd like to just appreciate each and every one of you for coming through and, you know what I'm saying, to tell your story and just kick it with me. Do you know what I'm saying, essentially?
Thanks for having us. Yeah.
Thank you.
Before we get into each of you guys' stories, I have to introduce the Jewel Isle Rum Punch that everybody sees on every single episode. Today, we have got lemon and lime, and we have tropical, and it's a North London brand.
Come on.
Do you know what I'm saying? So, you know, we're representing over here. Do you know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. And so basically, I would like you guys to, you know, just to, you know, come indulge, drink with me, and also give an opinion on what you feel, because I like to give raw opinions. Do you know what I mean?
This is not a trend. This is not a piece of art. This is not a plea. This is not even a statement. This is a demand. Stop killing the man them. Physically, mentally, systemically. We've been there before. I wasn't the first to spread this message, but I prayed I'm the last.
I can comment on like the design of it. Looks really good.
Listen, let me know. Alright, so as a consumer, as a customer,
this is dangerous. It tastes like juice, but it tastes good. And the fact that it says double strength on it, you know, it's gonna get you mashed up.
So you hear it there. So that's one opinion. That's one opinion. What was you saying about the estate?
If I was like, because I'm not drinking at the moment, but like if I was, I love the design of the bottle and the flavour of it. Basically, like, you know, it feels like summer drink. Like it makes you feel like you're on holiday.
That's exactly what there was going for.
So if I was, I would definitely buy that on the shelf. Yeah, it looks really good.
Test with the review and the socks. It's giving waitress.
What do you think? Talk to me.
Oh wait.
I haven't bought money.
I've been watching too much Dragon's Den recently.
You could definitely taste the rum.
Yeah.
If you like a good rum, you can enjoy that. You can't taste. I feel like you can't really taste any of the lemon and lime.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it's mixed with, like what that other thing is, but
lemon and lime.
No, but you can't taste any flavour.
You can't.
I don't know what other flavour that is. If that makes no.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Fair play.
Yeah. Let them know.
Yeah.
Waiting for your.
Yeah. That's what I was kind of making sure.
Making sure it's
the right bottles are open, and it looks like it is. So. I can taste lime. That was nice. That first gulp was nice. Pause.
Yeah.
But that first gulp was nice. Yeah, I can taste some citrus in there still.
So, but then, do you know what? But that's what I like because it's mixed reviews. Nice rum punch. Do you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I didn't try your flavour. I can only attest for the tropical.
Yeah.
That was a nice rum punch.
Yeah, but that's what we like. Also, mixed reviews, so people know that it's actually genuine and this is not actually scripted or anything like that. You have never tried this brand before, no. So thank you for your reviews. But now I want to get into, some questions, and I want to ask, and whoever can go first, but. The one thing that you guys...
You can go first.
I already know where I was directing it, but I got to play fair, do you know what I mean? I got to address everybody. But no, Eczemates was mentioned.
Yes.
And, the title can be self-explanatory, but before we get into Eczemates and how that come about, I want to start off from the very basic and us talking about eczema and what is it? Essentially, what is eczema? Anyone can answer.
Yeah, I'll go for it. I've had it all my life, so it's been it's a long journey to learn what eczema is as well. If I'm honest, because you start off I've had it since I was a child, and I've had to there's been points where you get different forms of eczema basically. Yeah. So you get atopic dermatitis, which is kind of more on the higher end of dermatitis, and you get different version of dermatitis. So I have atopic dermatitis, which essentially from the reason I say it's a learning journey, because when you go to a dermatologist, what you learn and what you learn off the internet and what you learn from dermatologists is your skin barrier is broken. Right. So your skin layer is broken, so you get a lot of bacteria, a lot of dust and things like that things can get into your skin easier than it would to a normal skin, and that's where you get a lot of inflammations and things like that. So you're hypersensitive, your skin is essentially damaged, it's broken, your protective layer. Right. So that's essentially what it is. But then the reason I say what I've started saying now is it's a long journey big thing to learn about is now, in an Indian community back, if you ask them what when you show a skin condition, it's a lot to do with your immune system and your gut health. Right. So it's because of your immune system and your gut's not strong enough, it's reacting on your skin barrier. But what we're taught in the West is it's from skin barrier and that way.
Outside in.
So outside in. If you go to another part of the world, it's from the inside out.
Which is
right.
So that's what. So no one really knows. This is why this condition is so difficult to manage, because and the reason why we're here today is we've for me personally, we're going through this thing called topical steroid withdrawal. You get steroids to so this is, we're going to go into this a lot more, but that's basically, essentially there's many ways of controlling. So that's what eczema is on one side, and it's on the other side as well. So it's internally and externally.
And so your experience about it being atopic, is that the same for all of you, or is that a different?
For me, yes, chronic skin condition, so I'm going to have it for life.
Right.
And it's atopic, so it's quite severe. But like Jitesh said, a lot of things that happened to me in my life exacerbated my original condition. Right. And so it then became an iatrogenic condition, which means it was caused by medication.
Ditto.
Oh, shit.
Or worsened by medication. So we're going to get into it. Essentially, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And what about you guys?
Yeah.
Well, go on.
The thing, atopic dermatitis is what I would have been described of having since childhood. So when I was probably about a couple months old, I had atopic dermatitis, and throughout my life it was classed as chronic eczema or severe eczema, and that severity of eczema was essentially suppressed by something called steroids or topical steroids, and that's the reason why I also said that I advocate around topical steroid withdrawal, which is what I believe I am going through. This is my 5th year withdrawing from topical steroids.
And yourself?
Yeah, did so a bit of everything really. But definitely in terms of like, not even acceleration, but just the intensity. I've definitely had it worse. Even up to 2-3 months ago, I had it worse than I have right now. But yeah, I mean, childhood, it goes years back. Like, it takes a long time to learn eczema. Like, it's a bit of everything. It really was. And as well as like, even me learning as a child, as most of us probably, it's not even about us really learning it. It's about our parents learning it to treat us. To us eventually learning it as we're getting older, and it goes on, it goes on, it goes on.
So can I ask, so because you said from couple months old, is that the same ages? What's the ages that you
born
guys
with it from day one?
From day one?
I was a couple of months old when the first couple of rashes appeared.
Right.
And then, like I said, it got exasperated. So.
And in your couple of months, then
I was 1.5 years, 2 years in, and apparently to what my mum said. I mean, I can't remember, but yeah, I was 2 years in. Funny enough, I came back from Jamaica. Right. She always says that. I don't know why she says that, but she does that. Maybe it's my mum issues, but I don't know if I semi-believe that. But nonetheless, I was 2.
And so, what part of you guys' body was affected first, especially? Well, I know you guys probably won't remember because you were young, but what your parents? Head to toe.
My earliest memory when I was 4 or 5, head to toe. Hospital times, head to toe.
And is that the same for all of you guys?
I think, as I said, it started like patches, like the inner creases of arms behind where you sweat and stuff. Your neck creases. Yeah. And then it spread, head to toe covered.
And when did it? Well, I mean, obviously, as you grow from a child, going up to maybe like either whether it's primary school or secondary school, like when did it individually, internally, like affect you, like mentally?
Years, bro. I mean, I remember my sister, and shout out to my sister. I would give her an Instagram now, but I forget. Bottom line is, I love her so much. She's my biggest fan. She really is. But shout out to her. So she's just amazing. But I remember when I was like 5, 6, she was beating up. I say beating up, but standing up for me in the playground because I was covered in bandages. So when I used to go to school, kids used to call me mummy. They used to call me. I used to get teased a hell load. I don't even want to swear, but I used to get teased a lot. But yeah, I must be on 5, 6, easily no more than that. I was in like year 1, and she was in like year 3. We're obviously in the same school. Yeah. No one could mess me in my. Well, they tried to, and they did. And my sister stood up for me. She was the only one, and my brother was much older, so he already left school as well. That was a joke. Yeah. But yeah, she was my savior, so to speak, from the bullies. And I was young. I remember. So yeah.
So wait, can I just?
So it affected. When going back to that question, it affected me in terms of like people are looking at me already differently, and I'm already the only one out of 400 kids that are wearing bandages, let alone anything else. That is that kind of vibe. So yeah, I secluded myself much more than I had to. Right. I should have done maybe at that age. Yeah.
What about you guys?
I don't feel like I necessarily noticed it as young as about 5, but what I did vivid memories that I do remember were like family gatherings where, and I'm from, my heritage is Nigerian.
Right. Big up Nigeria.
Big up Nigeria. But one thing about Nigerians, they're just cutthroat, and they will just, your aunties will just come through and just start analysing children, which is what they do. So it's all about trying to fix somebody. And I remember it was always a show. Every time, aunties or family members came round, it was always like, come on, bring, and on top of that, I was the darkest skinned child as well. Yes, so it was like, bring the dark skinned one so we can like figure out how to fix her and heal her and pray over her and use these, concoctions and whatever else it was. Yeah. And I feel like the good thing is, like, as much as my parents never really necessarily knew much about eczema, because I was the only one that had it to the severity that I had it. Right. I feel like they somewhat knew to kind of like protect me in that sense, because I feel like I didn't necessarily feel, although I was targeted by like external family, my parents didn't do that, if that made sense. And even when they did, it was kind of like, they were kind of like trying to calm it down the best way you can in a Nigerian community. But I feel like when I started to notice it was probably when I went to secondary school. Right. And I think, with peer pressure and puberty and boy loves girl and all that good stuff, all of a sudden it's like, you want to fit in, you don't want to be the odd one out. But the trouble with that is, with puberty my eczema got worse. I'm not sure about anybody else, but as a girl, I'm going through puberty, so my the eczema that I had, similar to what you said, D, like I had it on my knees, I had it on my hands, I had it on my neck, certain places on my face. All of a sudden, I've had it. It just got so extreme. Yeah. And on top of that, I've just gone to secondary school. I'm trying to meet new people and whatever else. And secondary school is brutal.
Yeah.
So, you know, you have to have tough skin, literally, and learn how to stick up for yourself. And I think, you know, people talk about resilience. It probably did teach me a lot. I'm not saying anyone should be bullied at school. And this is the thing, I don't really even want to say I was bullied, because I'm a tough cookie. Try and bully me.
Not to say that you was a victim, but it's still a form of bullying.
It is bullying. It definitely is. And I don't think anybody should go through the experiences that I did. And it was things like, particularly boys, like talking about like the way my skin looked, like describing it similar to being an alligator or crocodile or those sort of things. Oh, wow. And during the time when I went to school, dark-skinned girls weren't in.
Trust me. I can I'm not the girl version.
But
But yeah, go on.
You know what I mean? Being chocolate now is in. Everyone wants to be dark-skinned. Everyone's talking about, I'm very hyperpigmented now. Everyone's like, oh, I love your chocolate now. But it's like, I wasn't in then. So on top of that, in school, I was really, I'm slim, obviously, anyway. But I was skinny, like I had no bum, I was dark skinned, I had all these skin conditions. So, you know, it wasn't easy. It wasn't an easy road.
But do you, because just hone in that point about, you know, it was more so the guys more than the girls in secondary school that was really saying things or making
in my experience, it was the boys, and that was probably because I was, as much as it still is bullying, I was quite popular in school. Everyone knew me because I guess that was just my personality. So
girls stood out. Nigerian personality.
I feel like the girls didn't try me in that sense. So maybe internally they might have thought certain things, but it didn't come out. But the boys, and I feel like boys, when you're young, is all part of like experimenting or whatever. I don't know what they call it. Like boys have to do that whole teasing thing. So it's like they went out of their way to, get the attention of a girl by cussing them.
No, so you had to go through that as well. Do you know what I mean? What about yourself?
I would say similar. Like around 4 to 5, I noticed like, you know, my skin is bad compared to other kids. I'm struggling. I'm bleeding. I'm scratching. I'm being told not to, but mentally would have been about school age when you start to see, oh, this has affected me. I'm not sleeping at night. I've got white shirts on and you itch, and then all of a sudden you have blood specks and everyone's looking. And I'm asking not to go do PE because we've got to wear shorts. So that's when I would say it started to affect me in my life as around school age.
How did the other kids treat you?
Outwardly, I wouldn't say bad. It's more like making a show of things of like, why aren't you doing this? What is wrong with your skin? You know, the shedding, the itching.
You bring back memories, bro. I appreciate you saying all this. You bring back memories.
But I wouldn't say they were bad apart from when it did get bad and it's used as a weapon against you. You know, the name calling, am I going to catch that? Is it diseased? All of that stuff. But like Harrii said, we had tough skin literally and figuratively. And you couldn't break me. And the other stuff in my life, it was like I didn't care. It didn't affect me socially in terms of my own friendships and my progression academically, other than when I had absences. So it was water off a duck's back, you know. But it did affect us. Talking about the colorism and being of colour in general. We already have that side of dealing with those people. So it's just an added layer of unfortunately learning us to toughen up.
What about yourself?
Well, I'm glad Harrii brought up some of the things. This is why it's like really cool to just even hear these guys' stories, because my experience is same and different at the same time. So I was fortunate enough growing up as a child that I don't know, for whatever reason, the schools I went to, I never experienced any of the bullying side from kids. That's why when I hear your stories, I feel really bad and stuff, because when I was in school, in fact, you know, some friends would come with me, and like when I need to go moisturize, I used to have to step out after the school and they'd be like, oh, we'll come with you. So I never experienced like that side of it, which I'm really...
Jitesh is so lovely.
I don't know, like I just got away with that. I don't know, I just got away with that side of things. But on the flip side, which is crazy, which is why, like what Harrii just brought up, is I got more bullied from aunties and uncles and family members. So it was the opposite. So it was that whole sort of Indian family thing where I would go to community event, whatever, like, and all the aunties and uncles do steroid, like fix him. Get this steroid, get this thing, get this from this country, get this from this country, put this potion on, like, go to India, go under that rock, and you'll be fine. It's stuff that I swear to God, that's not even a lie. That's actually the truth. Like, literally, and you're a kid, and you're like, what? All right, like,
and it's traumatic.
Flown around everywhere, like trying to fix what fix
a lot
you.
to take in, going back to learning eczema.
Yes,
because I remember going to Nigeria and they took me to some like random cave, honestly. Yeah, and my mum was like,
do you know what? It's better things I'm thinking. You're about to take you to a cave. That'll be deported, you're just there. But
and it was like my mum had to hold it down, like just to like respect the culture or the tradition or whatever, because they're trying to help you. So you can't just be like, no, I'm not going to take my child to the cave. And then obviously I'm looking at my mum and I'm thinking, Mum, are you gonna like? You're just gonna leave me in this cave? So and my mum's like, she's keeping it like stern face. I'm like, shit, I'm here. This is it. Like, R.I.P. my friends, and I'm not going back to UK. And then anyway, they had this like strange concoction. I don't know what it was, but it was black. And I was just like, oh my God, they're going to make me drink that. And they were talking about it, and they were speaking in my Yoruba as well. And they were just talking about like what she has to do, how much time, and then she's going to have to, it's going to come out in her system. And I was like, oh my God, they're going to kill me here. It's like, they're going to kill me. This why we don't want to come back to Africa. Like,
Similar to that is like in Jamaican culture, it was Milk River. That's where they would take me and bathe me, and my skin would be clear. So my whole life I thought it was this magical
river.
You say similar to Ghana?
Bro, I went to Ghana, and obviously I was a little troublemaker when I was young, innit? So they took me over there, so there's got demons and that.
Yeah.
They took me to one church, our African church cult type stuff. But my man started talking about there's wizards flying up. I sparked the casting.
Oh my!
My grandma was like, yo, send him back. Like,
jeez.
I get it, man.
Yeah. To the cave, all this
anything will help. Something will help. If not anything, something will help. And we'll try everything until something helps.
Yeah. But one thing that I do want to say is because you guys actually touched on family, you and Harriet touched on family, but what was, in general, for all of you guys, what was your family's experience to you guys having this condition?
Firstly, when it's just eczema, I use that term loosely, like we talked about family, my mum's biracial, so all of the black side of my family, it was her fault. She's done something. Even though other cousins on my dad's side have eczema, it's my mum's fault. Yeah. And my mum just felt sorry for me. There's nothing you can do. I'm scratching, I'm bleeding. It's kind of like a form of self-harm in one sense. We can't stop ourselves, but it's hard to watch. She never blamed me. It's just, we talk about the trauma she had dealing with caring for me, got passed on to me. She's worried that I'm going to give it to my siblings. What do I do? She's wrapping me in bandages. She's putting all these things on me, which we now know part of that was the problem. But I don't know. I think for her, it's hard. I couldn't do it. We talk about now, you've got kids. What do you do? You just got to do your best. But
it's like, it's exactly the same. Even till now, as an adult, my mum sees me sometimes at home when I'm scratching and stuff. She takes it. She blames herself. Like maybe this happened when because she was sick during my birth a lot. So she always goes back to, was it because of me? Because I was sick. And then, one day we asked the doctor, like, would this have affected? And the doctor was like, no, you're nothing to blame for it. This is, but she's still, till this day, even my dad, like, they'll go out randomly. My dad would just come home from work one day and he'd be like, he speak to someone, and all he would ever think about is, oh, my son has eczema, and then they would say, do this for him. He'll come home and then he'll be like, oh, have you tried this? Because he's clueless, he's helpless. He's like, and even until this day, he's like, son, are you alright? Like, is your life alright? Like, I wish like, someone advised him once, if you took him to this priest and he would have held you and you would have been cured, but he didn't do that day. So he's like, because I didn't do that, you're suffering till now. And I'm like, Dad, that's not what would have solved the problem.
It's so much more than priest Adam.
It's funny you say that. I got eczema as well.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that. My mum thinks that her eating curry when she was pregnant with me.
Is it? She still thinks that? Yeah.
Serious?
Yeah.
She actually. And do you know what? That's what I want to... Actually, do you know what? Before I get into say what I'm going to say, what about you guys? Old wives' tale. How was your parents?
My parents?
Yeah.
No, you said my family members.
Well, your family members, but yeah, just family members in general. Including your parents. But,
I mean, everyone was supportive. I didn't get a lot of... there was a lot of the... Let's fix him, like Jitesh and Harrii has spoken about, but it's a case of it wasn't. They were also like, I don't know how to put it. There wasn't a lot of it, but there was a lot of it. But at the more time, they were just very supportive in terms of, are you alright? Are you alright? Like, are you not dry? Do you want me to cream you? Sometimes they were offered to cream me. One of my uncles used to love to cream me.
Wait, hold on. That was insane.
Yeah. He was my uncle. He was my mum's brother.
Yeah.
And
okay,
honestly,
cool. Yeah.
And even towards like, anyway, but I'm not going to go into him and his health, but he used to be very his missus as well. They used to be very supportive in that sense. And I love them for that. He was my father figure as well because I never had a dad. That same uncle, but like he was very much that father figure. That kind of, they were supportive. They were. I can't really bad any of my, as well. When I went back to Trinidad, so the family in Trinidad as well, they always used to help me. Aloe vera would be my number one diet. Like I was like, every time I went to Trinidad, it was aloe vera daily. Mangoes daily. But once again, it wasn't clearing up, but it did clear up much better in Trinidad and the sun, the way of living and all the rest of it. But yeah, they were just supportive. I can't really wrong my parents or my family members in any way. They were.
Same as that. Like, they've been very supportive, like very hands-on and tried everything under the sun that they can to make it better. But they're still like at the back of mind, they think it's them. But the cause, like root cause of it, and it's like
I can like that Jamaica.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
I always blame Jamaica for some reason.
See, the funny thing is that some people don't understand the power of words. Yeah, because when you say let's fix it, like to say you're something.
That's a lot.
broken.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot.
And that can also play
100%.
on your mental, because it's like, oh, what am I meant to be broken that you think that there's something? Am I this? And it's interesting when you say, some of you guys say that there's this old wives' tale, or they think it's some sort of superstition where, do you know what, because I was this, then this might be the result of whatever happened. And some people need to understand that, do you know what, maybe like some things there's just no explanation for. Same way, a bit like what you guys are saying about it's a journey, and on that journey you discover so many different things, but yet it's still the unknown of what can be the direct root and cause. I wanted to know, do you think it's due to, as you guys are growing up, because essentially we're probably all the same age range, maybe younger, depending on, I don't want to guess ages just in case I might offend people, do you know what I mean? But so I'm a treading a thin line. But do you think it was just prior to, it's just a lack, there's lack of knowledge about it at the time when you guys was growing up? That's why the superstitions, or this is because I didn't do this why it might be the cause of this, because there was no really much knowledge about it, information out there about it.
Yeah, maybe. Obviously, like anything in life, though, I mean, information has become very readily available now with internet and stuff. So, I mean, obviously, there's more information now than there was then. But
I think the issue still remains, and to get controversial and talk about topical steroid withdrawal and topical steroid addiction, is that most kids I knew or we talk to now had a bit of childhood eczema. Maybe not as severe as ours, but did.
Yeah.
And normally you find the common link why their eczema is still not as severe or as bad now into our adulthood is they didn't use immunosuppressive creams like steroids or Protopic.
Yeah.
My little sister, she had bits of eczema like me, how mine started. Mum learned from me. I'm not putting those creams on her. My sister's skin is beautiful now. She doesn't suffer at all. Obviously, I can't say. I don't know. But the common link is that anybody I ask, I had eczema when I was bad when I was little. Did you use steroid creams? No.
Yeah.
And that's where the link is. And even now, doctors are prescribing steroids or immunosuppressive creams to babies with eczema because they don't know what it is. But actually, we're probably going to grow up. We're going to grow out of it. It's a childhood thing, I think, and then we exasperate it and we add all these chemicals. But our bodies are resilient. Even now, our skins, I don't know whether you're going to see pictures or you'll go on our socials and you'll see how bad it was for some of us.
And funny enough, I did go on some of your socials through Harriet's page. But obviously, with your permission, I wanted to be able to see if I could post up the befores and after. Obviously, with each of you guys' permission, I don't want to put anything out there without getting you guys' permission. But even seeing some of the pictures beforehand to now, there's actually a transformation, because I've seen your journey, and to compare how you are now to compare the numerous videos that you've had where you've had that conversation where you're having a conversation with your mother and everything like that, and I said that's a big transformation in my eyes. It might not be nothing to you, but for me that's visibly seen it from the outside in.
But this is the exact thing of what's so mad is our whole lives were taught by doctors. You need to use these creams. You need to do this. It's never gonna go away. You're gonna make it worse if you don't do this. For us all to do the opposite of that and our skin get better is maddening.
Yeah.
And you look back at our photos, some of us, and you think, oh, is that when you stopped the creams? Right. Yeah. And my skin was like that when I was using the creams. How does that make any sense? These things that are supposed to help us. Do
you know what? Touch on that for a second. So, what was you guys each individual NHS experience?
Okay.
It's all the same but different, like you said.
Whoa, like, it's crazy. So, my experience, still till now, to this day, is so about 2016. So, I had eczema since I was born. There was a period in my life where about the ages of 8 till about 10, 11, I was cured. I had no eczema, like zero. My mum tried some Chinese, it was really expensive. She went to Harrii Street and bought some like really expensive stuff that I had to bathe with. And then during that period, it somehow, everything got better. Mm-hmm. And then I went back to the doctors because of some other stuff that I had, like with my kidneys, I had to do like a liver function test or something. So my mum just has this memory that my eczema just kicked back in. So then it just came back and it never went. And from that point, so from that age of like, I had some steroids, like really heavy cyclosporin, which I'm on actually today, but I was about like 8, like they started me on about 11 years old on these like cyclosporin, which basically at the time, even my doctors would say to my mum, be careful because this could stop his growth and stuff like that. That's how strong these steroids and stuff, which you shouldn't, I don't think like you have to go down that road with the condition you have. Like that is not the extent you need to go at where it affects your, your growth. Your growth, literally.
That's a big deal, thing, as a man as well.
Like your puberty and everything like that. Like I'm experiencing things now emotionally. I'm just backtracking a little bit about my experience, but basically this is kind of linked to an NHS experience. Like the doctors themselves know this is what's going to cause you, and they're reluctant to give it, but they're still giving it, right? So I used to have a pediatrician and a dermatologist. The dermatologist would provide me the cyclosporin. The pediatrician would try and look after my mental health and my growth health alongside it. And she would advise my mum, make sure he does cycling, all of this stuff like that, because it's going to prevent his growth, all of these things. So my mum would actively actually not give me some of these steroids purposely when I at home. And when I go to the doctors, would just say, have a blood test, because you have to have a blood test. She would give it like the day before, just so it shows them that I've taken it. Because she knew the long-term effects. It affects your kidneys, your livers, all of that kind of stuff. The thing is, this is the problem with the NHS and the doctors. Like, imagine my mum had to lie, right? To tell the doctors that I don't want to give it. This is the risk, because as soon as you don't take it or you do this, you're out of the system. And then you don't know where else to go, what kind of medication to use. You're relying on these professionals to guide you, but they are effectively, intuitionally, my mum knows this is the wrong thing, but she doesn't know where she's trapped in the system. Like I am today, like fast forwarding. So I had that, and then I got pulled out of school for a year as well because of it, at a period. But I was on topical steroids from the age of some cyclosporin, those strong steroids, and a steroid cream, right from that age right till today, right? And in uni, I kind of relied on steroid creams and stuff like that, just to and that's when my topical steroid withdrawal just, I knew I had it. The doctors are still denying I have it, if I'm honest. I know I have it internally. I went 2 weeks ago to ask them, is this, because I just want them to kind of like acknowledge that this is that, but they're still saying, no, we don't think it is. And I'm
expose your NHS doctor right now so we can just badmouth them for a little bit.
This is the thing, and then 9 years ago, I decided, after not seeing a dermatologist for about 6-7 years, I decided I was at work and I was trying to be comfortable in my skin, because I was just out of uni, I was changing jobs a lot, so I was going through a lot of stress, so my eczema was just a lot. And then some people at work just used to be like, I was comfortable with myself, I was like, skin is gonna heal, whatever. And then people at work be like, I really feel really bad for you, your skin is really bad. And I'm like, for fuck's sake, I've just dealt with this mentally myself, and I'm like I've come out of the house looking at myself going, and then now you're pointing it out and I'm like, ugh. So then I was like, okay, maybe it is bad. Maybe I'm not dealing with it. So I went to the dermatologist, and then they were trialing some new medication. It was called Dupixent, which a lot of people are on at the moment. And it basically, I'm on a 7-year since then on and off steroid after steroid after steroid after immunosuppressant after biologic after biologic.
That's a lot.
One of those damaged my tear ducts permanently through that journey. And every time I go back to them, there is another trial. Oh, well, let's try this on him. And internally, I'm like terrified to go to the doctors because I'm like, what are they going to say next? And I'm like, I don't want it. And then they just it took me, they 2 whole years of them persuading me to go on a medication that I was refusing to eventually break me and say, all right, I'll give up. All right, give you the medication now. And then now who's responsible for my eyes? Who do I say this to? What do I do? That's the frustration. NHS obviously might, as an organisation, might be good things in that, but in this area, this is the frustration.
What about you?
Yo, my guy.
Yo, what's up?
Not much, man. I'm just at the studio, you know, just sorting some bits. What are you telling me?
Nothing much. Just watching the game. Having a bud.
Alright.
Yo, who's that?
Yo, hey, pick up the phone.
Hello?
What's up?
Yo, where's Jay? Yo, Jay!
Yo! What are you telling me?
Let me rent a camera and some lights.
For me, it's a similar experience in terms of I grew up in a predominantly white town, and my mum loves to say this. She suffers with her own health conditions, but lots of doctors can be quite textbook.
Right.
And so, as people of colour, our skin presents differently to white people's skin, especially when we talk about skin conditions. So they're looking at their books and they're saying, this looks like eczema, but it doesn't look like eczema. They don't know what it is, but I'm saying it is eczema. It just looks different. As a kid, I knew this. I'm going through eczema. They don't know what it is, and then they start to blanket everything as eczema. So when they're giving me their steroids, you talked about having eczema. We've experienced eczema, and I start going through TSW. It's not eczema. My skin is falling off. It's weeping. It's oozing. It's not extreme eczema, but they don't know what to do. They're just pushing medication after medication. And the hardest thing with that is lots of these medications come with different side effects. Jitesh touched on it. One of them makes you blind. So what? Bad skin or blindness.
That's crazy.
It's crazy, right? Different people.
One of the creams they gave me, which my mum called a magic cream when I was little, was Protopic, which is an immunosuppressant cream. And it made my...
Is that the one that is a thin layer? You just put a thin layer on the skin?
And it's very ointmenty, and it smells and it burns.
Right.
And I was taught the burning is good.
Yeah.
It means it's working.
It means it's working. However, that's the exact words we want to use.
My skin cleared up. It was beautiful. It was soft. I would be greasy in all my photos, and then I would have beautiful skin. And then later it came out that it has a black box warning, which basically means it's dangerous and can cause death.
Oh, serious?
And I think I was 12 when I was put on that cream for my problematic skin. And so since then, the whole journey is we come off our medication and my skin's getting better. But nobody knew how to deal with it. And even now, years later, my nephew, newborn, bit of a rash, call the doctor, we'll put some steroid cream on. Why?
No, yeah.
And only because steroid cream doesn't get rid of eczema, it suppresses it.
Right.
So what's the
problem?
And why are you going to put that on a newborn?
Yeah.
So it's hard. The medical experience in general is, like I said, I don't blame the doctors.
Yeah.
They're going from what they're taught, and the protocol is for bad skin or skin conditions is immunosuppressants or steroids. So the problem isn't with them, it's with the education and the research around it. And that's what needs to change.
I personally think it's funding from the pharmaceuticals.
Well, yeah, big pharma. Without being conspiracy, once we all get healed, they're not going to sell all these creams. They're going to create new ones which are doing the same things.
Right. And what's you guys' NHS experience?
I feel like, just to add on to kind of what we've been talking about, like, even though this is our experience, this is getting me so emotional. Like, I feel just so upset. Right. And I feel like, because it's kind of a double-edged sword, because what you said, Jitesh, where you said, like, my mum was forced to lie to the NHS. And I guess for me, that's kind of triggering in the sense that you've seen the video, but there's a video that's gone viral basically where I'm talking to my mum and I'm basically saying to her, like, why did you ever put me on the steroids? And
because in a lot of ways, sometimes I do think, at what point did you not think it's a good idea to take me off the steroids? At what point did you think you would just continue?
I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah, but that's the point.
We thought they know what they are doing.
Yeah, but what about you as a parent? You don't think anything of it?
We've tried all kind of things before then. I had to try this, try that, try Chinese medicine, try this one, try that herb. We've tried everything, put something in her feeding bottle. We tried a lot. Prior to that, we tried a lot of things. Put this thing in the feeding bottle, put that one in the drink. You know? Don't eat orange. I tried. We tried quite a lot. You know? We tried quite a lot. Let's pray.
I guess there's a part of me that's like, you didn't have to do this. Like, you didn't have to, like, sometimes where it feels like, oh, well, you know, like there was this big NHS that forced me to, like, medicate my child. In the back of my mind, I'm like, you didn't have to do that. You could have advocated for me, and why didn't you? And it's easy in some sense to be like, it's the NHS, it's the medical institutions, it's the pharmaceutical companies, but they didn't come to my house and put these creams on me. You did. But I guess the conversation around that is so techie, because it's not necessarily, like, obviously I'm a grown woman, like, it's not necessarily like at this stage in my life I'm like, yeah, like, you know, my mum needs to come and fix me. I'm fixing myself, and it's just the emotions and the mental health and the feelings that come, the aftermath of like living, like experience, like still experiencing these things based on negligence. And then, yeah, the negligence is from the NHS. And like you said, is it because like maybe in the 90s when I was born, like they didn't know this and they didn't know that? Yeah, presumably, essentially, possibly. But then there is like, it's on both hands, isn't it? Because it's like, I'm a parent myself now, and I'm like, if you do something and you're not getting the results, what do you do? Maybe you do something else. Yes, exactly. Whether there's TikTok, whether there's Instagram, whether there's Google. So, and I think the trouble with that video is the fact that everyone's like, why are you blaming your mum? She's your mum. You can't just blame her. It's you know, you're an adult now, and blah 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 blah. And all of that is, it's valid, it's true. But it's like, one, I'm a human being, I've got emotions. Yeah, of course. And two, it doesn't invalidate the fact that we all have choices still. So whether you know, my mom's from the 80s, or she, you know, people keep calling my mom an immigrant, she isn't, but fair enough. Like, or this or that. She didn't know language, she didn't know English, and just coming up with stories that you don't know about my family. But even if that was the truth, it still doesn't mitigate the fact that everybody made choices within this, and whatever those choices are, I am facing the consequences of those choices, and we are all facing the consequences of those choices. And for me, that's what makes me so upset. And I think what makes me more upset is the fact that there are children that are going to continue to experience this. So I can't blame, because I was born in the 90s or you're born in the 70s, because it's still happening. And if it wasn't happening, I'll be like, oh yes, because of the error. But it's not the error, because it's still happening.
And I think the hardest thing to touch on that again is they say to you, there's nothing we can do.
Right.
They say that while it's still
prescribing. Still prescribing you stuff and still giving you stuff.
Why exactly? That's where it comes from.
They're saying it as they're giving you something.
If they're not going to work, or we're told you shouldn't use them for life. Yeah, I was on a repeat prescription from when I was a newborn until I stopped. But the direction is you can't use them for more than a week. Does that make sense? So then, like Harrii said, so where is the error? Who has got it wrong? Where's the information? But then you're telling me there's nothing you can do. You're going to be like this forever. To now take things into our own hands and start to get better is very frustrating.
Well, I think this is part of what we're doing here, in terms of just bringing awareness to it, as well as that advocating for it. And as a dad of a 4-year-old that has eczema, that we believe as well is going through TSW at his young age of 4 years old. Yeah.
Okay.
Going back to what you said it and you hit the nail on the head, and I felt so bad as a dad. I still do for other reasons connected to my son's eczema in terms of me giving it to him. I think going back to blaming. I'm a parent physically, as I blame myself for my son's eczema, and he's going through a mad TSW right now. But we've given him steroids too. I'm only a year and a bit into my TSW, so I was only really knowledgeable up to a year ago.
So you're still learning yourself.
It's still my excuse to a degree that I thought, because I had been raised a certain way, going back to NHS, to believe the professionals that we said to. We give them this title. But yeah, it's the truth of what we're doing right now as eczema mates, but just as a collective in terms of just trying to be, in terms of the eczema community, I mean, as a collective too, as a wider community, to try and bring that awareness to TSW. But as, like I said, my son was getting given TSW by us, going back to why do we do it? Like, I now question, why did I do it? Because I know what it's done for me in terms of the good visually, but the bad. Why did I do it? Do you know what I mean? Why have I done? And going back to what you said, sorry, I made a point, but the point of, I learned the lesson from my son, who's 4, with my my soon-to-be 2-year-old daughter. She's got perfect skin. She's had rashes. I haven't touched her with a spot of any steroid. She'll be fine. A rash come, rash go.
But I guess that's it. You know, when I said that, it wasn't even to blame any parent. Does that make sense? There's no real answer to it. That's the point, and that's the reason. And again, that's the reason why. No, I didn't make that video. Like, if people even follow that video, it was actually after an NHS appointment I had. I had an appointment. I was supposed to have an allergy test, and they basically rejected me.
And I think it was great that you did that video, because I think that video was very much valid.
Valid.
It showed, people could take away what they want from it in terms of why was you getting onto your mum like that, but
it's an honest conversation.
It's an honest conversation, like you said, and what was the message behind that? And I think that was the powerful statement behind that for me, and what I took from it, from being just an outsider.
Why listen to NHS so quickly, so easily? So
you know what I mean?
And that's what, like I said up to a year ago, I was doing. I still do to a degree. We still get our little prescription, but it's not for steroid creams. So that much I kind of have stepped back from the steroid cream part. But it is a case that I'm not trying to put anything on you or anyone else. It is a case that parents have a decision. They are the middleman between the professional, so to speak, and the person or the patient.
Because it's like your parents are like the middleman. Because like when you're
that's the education part. The parents have to learn, and that's what we're trying to do.
And parents are so much more powerful than they make us feel. You know,
we know our child. Every child's different. As a parent, we know our child. Every child, like anyone that knows nieces and nephews, every child is different. That's the point of the matter. And where one steroid will affect him in certain ways, it's affecting me in a totally different way. Affecting in my mind. Totally different way. And we know our children, and it's that education that as grown people now can talk to parents. As parents ourselves, we can talk to parents, not say anything, but you know what I mean? We can try and go, do you know what, this really isn't the one.
That's dope.
We really isn't the one.
That's
cool. And I'm going to let you say something. I've got something to say around this, but you go first.
You've been trying.
No.
You two are too nice.
All I was going to say is you just said that's the hard thing, because what you said and what happened with your mum is, there are people who've used steroids that have cleared up their eczema. And I look back now and I cringe at the time I was on certain creams that would help my skin, and I would give them to my friends and be like, you're struggling here.
This is it.
And so ignorance is like
bliss. That's what it is.
Hindsight is a bitch.
No, of course.
Hindsight is a bitch. And now I look back and I cringe at that. I remember a year before I went into TSW watching people on YouTube saying they were going through TSW and me being like, that's not happening to me. I was in complete denial. And then coming back a year later being like, were you stupid? Like, you saw it here and you still put those creams back on your skin. So we do the best we can, and now that's
and for the right reasons.
Now we know this is happening, and we're still being gaslit into saying it's all in your head. You're doing this to yourself. That's the frustrating, angry part. Because it's like, we're not. And you could argue it happens to a select few people. It's a rare thing. There's hundreds and thousands.
You've just done a march with like over 100 people.
So how can you keep denying this of all different ages, of all different backgrounds, ethnicities, social differences, like
everything?
There's one common
factor.
And you're still being like, no, it's not that.
The denominator.
Do you know what I mean?
What was you gonna say?
Like kind of just circling on everything is like the reason why we're kind of also here today to talk about this. Firstly, you know, so people always say social media is bad and stuff like that. The reason why we're here is because of social media. Like a few years ago when I was trying to like educate myself about like trying to come off my. I didn't know what TSW was. Like trend, it's only very recent. I just knew that I didn't want to use steroids and creams. I knew this for a very, very long time, if I'm honest. I felt that. Like circling back a little, like kids, like as humans, intuitively, when a kid cries and says, "I don't want to do this," you from that very young age, you know what's not right for you. Yeah. Right, so when you're a parent and the kid's like, I don't want this, like, there's a reason why that's happening. Like we're not tuned into that kind of stuff, and then a kid's looking at that parent going, "Mom, is this all right? Shall I do it?" Like, you know what I mean? Or their dad, like they don't know the power they have in their hands to guide you and instruct you when you're trying to be honest with them. And it's like the doctor saying this, "Mom, doctor saying this. Oh, I don't want this though. What the doctor's saying." Well, but no, the doctor said it, like, you know, take it. And you're like, oh, okay, crap, I might as well take it. These two adults are here. Yeah. Like, you're kind of couldn't, but internally, like, if you try and observe the kid and you see the reaction stuff like that, I knew for a very long time that I'm getting troubled with steroids and stuff, but I was just relying on these like trusted adults to kind of guide me through this until I was strong enough to kind of figure it out myself. Yeah. But then, like, I met Harrii through social media and, when I was like, and then because he was advocating, and I said, I don't know how I even like found you, but I was like looking on Instagram for about like things to do with eczema. Then you started doing stuff about topical steroid withdrawal. I was like, what's TSW? And then you were like, I haven't been using steroids for a while. And I was like, oh, that's what I want to do. I don't want to be using it. And that's when we first met up and went to the first meetup. And basically, so and Harrii is doing a really amazing job right now. Where I just looked at your other live that you did, where she's she's honestly like the reason why today. Like, oh my god, like she's amazing, like amazing. Like I don't know how she's like consistent, keeping it consistent with the condition you have. I get exhausted after work because of like eczema, because I want to just sleep. I'm tired. I'm exhausted because you're all day. But she's managed to put content out, work, be a parent, do all of that. So hats off, like to do that. Like it's impressive, man. It's impressive. I don't know how you do it, but like she's doing a lot of awareness around holistic medication, and you're having people on your lives and stuff. So it's that side of things. It's like if you're a parent, you're training your parent, but basically like. When someone's born with eczema, the reason why we're here today is we don't want other people to go through the journey that we've gone through and the suffering we've gone through. So there are alternatives out there. If you definitely speak to a dermatologist as well, because, you know, we don't want to tell someone don't go to the dermatologist when you're like really like stuck, right? You want to speak to them and get like advice from them, but then get that advice and go to a holistic doctor, get that advice and say, the dermatologist has said this.
Make your own decision.
There's this, but it's also, like, I think it's also, with me, and I say it on my page a lot, I'm pro-choice. Like, make your own choices. I'm also not telling anybody, because there are some people in the community that are also like, don't take antihistamines, don't take paracetamol, struggle, suffer, bleed, and go through it. You got to not use creams. I'm here, like, do what works for you. Exactly. I'm not here to. I'm also not. I'm not. I can just. And again, I also just tell people that I've come off the steroids. If you want to be on the steroids, I'm not forcing anybody to come off it. I'm just telling you my experience. You can see my videos. You can see the struggles. You can look through all the archives, and you can make your choice on what you want to do. But I'm not, because it's like, even though you might have said that you could tell that you need to come off the steroids, I'm going to be honest, I was addicted to steroids. That's why they also call it topical steroid addiction.
It was addiction.
I didn't feel there was anything wrong with using steroids. I genuinely was. I was so addicted to them that even when I was like, my skin looked like, I had a point where my skin looked grey. Like, I don't know, you know, like dark skin. You know when you have that grey look. I looked grey. I looked like when I was using them steroids. I was like, I'm not quite dark skin. I'm not quite brown skin. I don't even know what colour this is. But I kept on using it. I was so addicted to it, and I was addicted to the cycles as well. Like the cycles of like, okay, I know I'll pace out the times when I use it. I'm going to a wedding on the 4th of July. I know that I'll use my steroids on. That's addiction.
But I also don't think it's addiction to the steroids. It's because we struggle our whole life to fit in.
It's psychological.
Yeah, it's the visual. It's the visual kind of visual.
So it's helping.
I'll go to sleep the night before if I have like you. Before I wake up in the morning, I'll apply all the steroids because I know by the time I wake up,
by the time that you have to leave.
So that's addiction.
And I think it was when I broke through that mental thing was when I got my real freedom from the steroids. When I was like, this is not an actual life. So when people might feel like, when I say, for example, I've been going through topical steroid withdrawal for 5 years. It's 5 years in the grand scheme of things. Oh my God, that's a long time. But God willing, I'll live a long time. So, you know what I mean? Yeah, do you understand? Yeah. But living your life addicted to drugs, because they are drugs, they're potent drugs. If you look at the potency of topical steroids, they are on the same category of actual drugs on the streets. But you know, because it's prescribed, they're not drugs, right? But that's a whole different story. But I think if you in the grand scheme of things, 5 years may sound like a long time, but if you decide to go down that path and actually take your healing into your own hands, you can figure out what your body is doing, what your skin is doing. There's so much that I've learned on this journey. Yeah, there have been moments where I had an infection, a skin infection, full body skin infection. I didn't know what to do. But the difference was, back when I was on the steroids, or you know, kind of reliant on the NHS, reliant on dermatologists to tell me what to do, I would be clueless. I would just go there, fix me. What do you do? What's the next drug? What's the next?
Can I just say something on the infection thing? Like what you, because you've done this recently, right? This is only 2 weeks ago, right? I went into the doctors and my skin was weeping, and then every time my skin weeps or something happens, straight away antibiotics, right? 2 weeks ago I went in there, and now with like a bit of willpower and a bit of like self-control and stuff, I went in there, they looked at me like, you have an infection here, they prescribed me antibiotics straight away. And in my mind I was like, I know I don't need antibiotics, this will heal in a few days.
I think because it's not an infection.
Because it's not that severe of an infection as what they're saying. As long as I apply clean that bacteria off and stuff like that. 2 weeks later, I haven't taken no antibiotics. I have no infection right now. I've just been like, literally, it's crazy. Like how quickly they prescribe this.
And it's in the mind, because it's the fear mongering, and it's also because of the fact that all of us have been in a situation where our skin has been worse. I'm not gonna lie, there are fears sometimes when I'm inflamed or I have a flare up. I'm like, this could be like, how bad is this gonna get? When is the point where I'm like, look at you should have gone to a doctor, and people are then saying you should have gone to a doctor. So there's also that double-edged sword, like how much can I fix myself? But I guess the unfortunate thing is we do have an NHS. It is free in the UK, and it is unfortunate that we cannot speak to our doctors. Does that make sense? So as much as like, oh, let's be holistic and fix ourselves, we shouldn't really necessarily need to.
Small print. I'm saying this is my personal experience as well. I didn't use antibiotics out of my choice and my experience of my skin looking at it. If someone who does have an infection today, sitting there listening to us, do go to a dermatologist and get their advice, professional advice, and make your own choice on that, because you know, it can if you have an infection, it can get bad, and it's a serious thing. It's a serious thing to do. Right?
We're not doctors.
We're not doctors. Don't get sued here. I don't have enough money to get sued right now.
Exactly. Like, although doctors are medically trained on our condition, we have a lifelong experience with our condition, and that's the difference.
Well played.
So can I just add one thing though? So just for those people that might have missed, so TSW stands for Topical Steroid Withdrawal.
Yes.
And
then there's TSA, Topical Steroid Addiction.
Yeah, because I just want to. That's what I was trying to differentiate. And so essentially, you guys' message is, do you know what? You can listen to you guys. You can listen to everybody's individual experiences, but you can also grab a second opinion or a third opinion if need be, because NHS. Although everybody's had their own individual NHS, you still had some similarities because they're still trying to research themselves. They're still unknowing themselves.
I think ultimately, if you're watching this video and a lot of it resonates with you, you already know.
You're
going to go through these stages of grief and denial, and then you're going to make the decision, and whatever decision you make is best for you. That's what's important.
And let's get into Eczemates.
Eczemates, yes.
An amazing collective of people with eczemas.
Well placed.
Oh, perfect. That's just well said.
Because we are mates.
Amen. So we're on eczema under the handle Eczemates. So it sounds like eczema mates, but it's Eczemates. Yeah.
Right. How did that come about? And who's the founder and co-founder and any other founder?
We are co-founders of Eczemates.
I can see her pointing to CG.
It's Harrii.
She's the founder.
Yeah.
Which
I already knew who the boss was.
Shout out to Chris, who's not here.
Play on the name and everything. It was everything.
Shout out to
Chris, who's not here today, who kind of
bigger up
alongside with Harrii.
Bigger up. We don't want to feel left out. Bigger up.
So essentially, me and Karishma, we have been on Insta for a long time, and she's someone that I resonate with because she's a brown skin babe, talking about TSW, eczema, etc., etc. And then I think
unapologetically,
yes,
like,
and we talk about representation compared to like some of the other, people there. We really pushed for the representation, and she was someone that I was like, at some point we need to meet up. That point was last year. Although we were like following each other for like 4 years, we eventually linked up, and we basically was like, she did her first meetup. She did like a meetup where she brought people together with eczema and TSW, and she was like, I felt like it was important to do, and she was basically like, I feel like is it something you would be interested to do moving forward, for everybody, but particularly to represent for black and brown people that have eczema, TSW and skin conditions. And I was like, I feel like it's really important. There are don't get me wrong, there are a lot of community meetups, and I think it's important, regardless if you can find a community meetup wherever you are, it's important to find something that can support you. But definitely as someone with, darker skin, it was important to find that representation in the community. So we essentially did our first, collectively, eczema meetup in June of last year, and that was a really good turnout of different people that have been following, particularly me and Karishma's journey for a long time. That were basically like, we were waiting for you to like bring something in person. To be honest, like we love to see you online, and it's great to like come together. And then what came out of that birth, or what birthed that, should I say, was the fact that the boys came through as well. I've known Trini for a long time in person anyway, but Jitesh and Dee I met for the first time in June.
It's funny because I followed Harrii and Karishma on Instagram for years before. After going never met.
4 years. 4 years of me on Instagram before I actually went to
for the first time.
And literally I met the guys.
I'm
so happy they turned up.
So there
was only three guys, and they basically what basically came out of that was the guys was like, it's amazing that we have this community meetup for everybody, but we don't feel like there's a lot of advocate voice for the men. And it was a valid point. We were like, so what can we basically do?
What happened was we all had a moment in the meetup where I said, I didn't come today because whenever I come to these things, I'm the only guy.
Always women.
And then he said the same, and then he said the same.
It's always women.
Like, hold on a minute. We need to do something
here. Yeah, exactly.
And that's when we did. I was like, I was basically like, if you lot are happy to support me, can we do a men's meetup? Because I'm not a man, so let's run with it. So we did the men's meetup in October, and again, that was an amazing. That went really well to just
for a first off. That went well.
To get men out talking about health. It was all skin conditions, just to make it a bit more broad, just to get men out there. But even to get as many men as we did, and even the ones that didn't come and just sent me messages to say like, I'm so happy that we have somewhere where we can just feel like it's a space for us.
For space.
And to open up. You know what men are like.
Even to this day,
it's true.
After that meetup, so it went amazing that first meetup. And even if it was one person, for me it was like, as long as that one person comes and it's a man and he resonates. But the everyone who came and said, so each individual would come up to us and go, we're really glad you did this event. When they said that, then it was like, we're doing something that's needed and people actually purposeful. People need this. And for whatever reason, if it's evolution or whatever, men don't like to speak about health, in general, and especially in our communities, in Asian communities, black communities. I'm realizing we're very similar. A man has to be a man. You don't cry, you just get on with it. And so what hit me at that first meetup was when Trin got up first and he spoke, and then he said about his journey and how he's had to he's been fired from jobs and stuff and left, and then I've gone through the same experience, and then he said he's the same age, and I was like, damn,
everybody was crying.
Everyone's crying, and that brought me to tears as well. It just really hit the spot. And then even before the meetup, when I went, I looked at the poster and everyone was women, because naturally most meetups, and I messaged Harrii, I think, I go, am I supposed to come? There's a woman there. She's like, everyone's welcome. I was like, okay, cool, let's just go with it. And then and thankfully these guys came. But that was it. It was just that connection that I had.
Just clicked like that, to be honest. Like I said, we have been following each other online for a long time, but I feel like naturally it just made like we, you know, I spoke to us and we were like, should we continue this?
We became eczema mates.
Eczema mates. And eczema mates it's about community meetups. It's about I think Jitesh has mentioned, but like lives, but speaking about certain topics that aren't necessarily spoke about, like holistic care or different remedies that people may not be talking about in the community. Recently we did a live about bleaching as well, and I feel like that was an important one because when particularly when black and brown people hear about steroids or steroid creams, they're a bit, I don't think they, again, lack of education. When people think I'm on steroids, they're like, oh, because she's trying to bleach. And I'm like, I've always been a dark-skinned babe. I've never been any other colour. So, I don't think you quite know. But unfortunately, if you're using steroids in the wrong way, you can also unexpectedly go through topical steroid withdrawal. So it means you can be someone that doesn't have a skin condition using steroids to bleach and go through topical steroid withdrawal, and that is a shame. That's a real shame.
So the title's a bit misleading, topical steroid withdrawal, because you can go into withdrawal from oral steroids, from immunosuppressants, but it's just a blanket term.
Because I was wondering what I was going to title this topical. So is that okay to put?
Yeah, I think from the community perspective, that's what
people kind of understand it as that.
Okay, cool. That's fine.
So that was kind of how Eczema Mates, and hopefully, you know, we want to get to a point where we can, like, outside of the community meetups, we want to do like retreats, we want to do like things where we go on like excursions, we want to do all of it, and like we're so like even coming, like being invited on this podcast again is important to us, and and again outside of my brand as Eczema with Harrii, it just made, like, for me, it just makes sense for it to be a collective, essentially.
No, that's dope, man.
Woke up late, had no sun on my face. Still no daughter, but my son's in my face. No time for sadness, my son's in my face. Then he asked for a sister, that's something that I can't replace. I really need help, my mental health is slipping. I'm missing my daughter, Lion is missing his sibling. Wake up daily thinking about baby girl and what she is thinking. Unc said that's your cake, just eat up like Mr. Kipling. We crossed the line, we was in love from ages. Mom said, son, there's a thin line between love and hating.
I'd like to add, we do this like, so we made it a men's event last time, and what we did was men and women were welcome, and we had a special segment where we have just for men, where we just kind of get together for that like half an hour, 20 minutes or so, where we can speak just as men about our like personal experience as men, and then so it's welcome to all, but we do have a segment where we have just for men's, where you can be a bit more comfortable if you're not comfortable around females. So
and I guess what's important, the reason why we keep on what I feel like the word collective is important is it's a collective approach. So if there are people that are watching, that people, you know, feel, oh, I want, you know, because some people speak to me and say, I have a child with eczema, or I'm, you know, there are different elements of eczema, but again, we are just one people's, again, it takes a collective to put things together. So if you're watching this and you're in the Midlands, or you're in somewhere, or you're wherever you are, you're trying to figure stuff out. It takes connect so we can all support each other to put things together. And again, collectively, sometimes we are looking for locations, you know, sponsors. We were very beautifully sponsored for that event. Like we had a lot of amazing sponsors that like came through for us. But again, all of those things can't happen if we don't come together as a collective. Collective.
No, that's super dope. Well, guys, like, unfortunately, I have to bring this show to an end. Definitely, I would like to get you guys to come on again. You can bring Sis. I've forgotten her name. I don't want to mispronounce.
Karishma.
Bigger up. Hopefully, the next episode, next time you come, we can get all 5 of you.
That'd be amazing.
Karishma's condolence. Yes, it's Krishy, right?
Jeez.
Yeah.
Why did you just shout out?
I wanted to check that it was right before I did that. So
go for it. Go for it. Yeah. She's our girl, man. She's part of the group. Go for it.
It's Yes, it's Krishy, and I think it's the same across all platforms. So it's YASITF.
You'll find her 100%. You'll find her.
KRISHMI.
No, bigger up. But
my bad.
No.
Can I just also can I also say that thank you, and
out of the box fresh.
Sometimes I'm not gonna like the way you did way this podcast run. you know, it was easy. Like you made it feel like what we're here to talk about.
Yeah.
So that's hats off to you. Thanks for that, for allowing us to share our story the way you did.
I appreciate you guys have informed me of a lot that I didn't know about. Do you know what I mean? And there's a lot to take away from this, because even though I might have like a milder condition compared to the rest of you, I know other people that do have eczema that I may have a severe condition. But that
even yours being mild is still
And I think that's it. It's not a comparison exercise as well, because sometimes people come on my page and they're like, oh, yours don't. At least it doesn't. The big thing I always get, one of the comments that come, oh, at least it don't affect your face. You've got a nice face. It's like, it's not a comparison exercise. You know, it doesn't matter if it affects someone's foot. Like, if it affects you, it's something you think about. You have to experience it. Then you're experiencing it, and that's the most important. That's the most important thing about health in general.
Right.
You know.
That's true. I know, and I thank each and every single one of you for coming here today, taking your time out. And before we sign out, can you let them know your name once again and just your social media handle?
Yeah, sure.
We'll start from you.
Yeah, so Jitesh is my name, and my social media both on TikTok and Instagram is Jitters. It's Jiterz. So you find that on both.
You just call me D, and it's at Dereece Julius on Instagram and TikTok.
How do you spell that, first of all?
DereeceCeJulius.
And it's Harriet, so it's eczema with Harrii, and it's HARRII.
It's Stud. My name is Trini-stud. I'm a Trinidadian. They call me Trini, so feel free. So TRINISTUD.
Yes, and do you know what, guys at home that you're watching, or wherever you are watching, if you want any further information about any of the guys, the links to the Instagrams will be obviously in the description box, which you can, you know, just get at the guys. Do you know what I mean? If you have any further information that you want to know, is there anything you want to know, any concerns, or if you know what, you want to share a story of your own that might be a story that, you know, you can bring forward to the table, then it's perfect. Or you just might want to just join their next session when they've got it, and obviously the dates to be confirmed. But if you follow their Instas, then I'm sure you'll be updated anyway on that thing. Yeah. But until then, listen, thank you, love and respect, and shout out to AME Higher. Yeah, big up Will, big up Mike, big up all the AME Higher team. Do you know what I'm saying? Until next time, and big up Jewel Isle Rum Punch. I can't forget them. I was just about to forget. See, the Rum Punch has got to me.
I did
do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But yeah, everybody, big up yourself, love and respect each and every time. Until next time, bless, man. Peace, people.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.